Super cool radio.
Hello everyone, I am Matthew Thomas with Super Cool Radio. My guest this time is from Super Cool Radio's home state of Indiana. Please welcome the great Adam Baker.
Hey, it's happy to be here.
How you doing?
I'm doing pretty well today. It's a Saturday. It's been pretty relaxing so far.
Yeah, and it's actually weather's actually not bad up in here in South Bend. It's actually pretty sunny. How about for you in Fort Wayne?
Yeah, it's sunny today. It said it was going to be like 68 degrees by 5 or 6 tonight. So I'm gonna try and get outside a bit later.
Yeah, and especially if people not from the Midwest, 60s in March. That's a pleasant trip.
That's a good weekend.
Yeah, for sure, especially for March. But I'm gonna kick this interview off with I think it's always a fun question. We'll see what you think. So if from all the bands you played with, especially like in Indiana and elsewhere, who are some bands that you've played with that people should check out?
Okay. Well, I can tell you a few bands. My normal project that I've been doing for the last 5 years, it's called Adam Baker and the Heartache. We haven't been obviously playing lately, but we're getting ready to start rehearsals again soon. Normal years we play about 50 or 60 shows a year, all of it, mostly original stuff, and kind of bounces between what you would say indie folk maybe and like kind of riff heavy like fuzzy rock and roll. So it's a kind of two ends of the spectrum, but that's my probably longest standing project. I also play in a ukulele duo called A Couple of Ukes, where we just we release a few songs online here and there whenever we feel like it'll be a fun project. And the other over the last year, not in the last few months, but for a good part of the year, my friend Topher Beyer and I, and a rotating cast of local musicians, we did a band called The Essentials, Fort Wayne, and it's a kind of a random collection of people that all recorded parts in their own home studios or home setups, and then we would like everybody would send me parts, and I would piece them together. And then we'd release music that way, so it was like a social distanced band. So that was a good part of the winter, I would say. That and focusing on the solo release.
Those also are very cool. A lot of stuff you're able to do, like digitally, as you said, just kind of releasing whenever you had music available. I think that's always pretty cool, and it always keeps people on their toes. Like, hey, here's some new music we just dropped. Yeah,
for sure. I'm constantly coming up with thoughts. So knowing other people that can do that too, it's super helpful.
Yeah, especially like nowadays, you can be so connected and without even leaving your home. Just like as we discovered last year, you had to be very connected and also socially distanced at the same time. It's a unique balance.
Yeah, for sure.
And so, focusing on you, since I am talking with Adam Baker here, when do you know you wanted to become a musician?
And that's I can't tell you exactly, but I can tell you I can tell you somewhere probably between like 7th grade and like freshman year of high school. I started singing in choir in middle school, and I was like, oh, I kind of enjoy singing and doing that. But I would say like around 15, for my birthday, I got my first electric guitar, and I think from then on, it just kind of went everywhere with me, fall asleep with it, wake up the next morning and be like, oh, it's still there. I think it was kind of, once I got that guitar, I think it was like kind of, all right, I don't want to do anything else.
Yeah, I feel you with that. I've talked to a lot of musicians. They say like once you get your first guitar, that's kind of like the thing you focus on the most.
So that I would say it was probably that, and short. I would say within the 2 years of getting a guitar, and this is going to date me a bit, but I got my I bought a cassette 4-track machine, which allowed you to record, 4 different things by yourself and piece them together. So I had a lot of friends in the neighborhood that I at that point living with my parents, obviously. So when I was a teenager, but friends would come over, we'd have rehearsals and jam, and I'd put mics on everybody, and so I got really interested in kind of production and engineering stuff pretty early on, and just from there, it's always been like kind of an interest to me. So that and songwriting, guitar songwriting and production were all things that I found fascinating, and I think when you put those together, it kind of just put me where I am now.
Yeah, that all sounds very cool. Definitely not dating yourself at all with saying you get a 4-track and a cassette player. That's definitely not dating yourself at all.
No, not at all. A friend of mine actually gave me, I found this gigantic box of cassettes from when I was much younger, and they were all stuff that obviously I had done with friends and things, but you can't play them back unless you have a 4-track machine, which my friend Topher actually had one in his basement collecting dust, and he gifted it to me. So this winter I cleaned it out and refurbished it and fixed some of the electronics on it and got everything kicking. And so I was actually able to use, there are some tape loops that I never, from whatever period in my life, I don't know, probably 16, 17, 18 years old. A few of those cuts made it onto the album that I'm releasing. But
that's really cool though, like to use like media like that to create your music. Very cool.
It's not a focus point, but there's like underlying some of the weird tonality, like sounds and stuff. Some of those were just like kind of embedded loops that I just kind of I wanted to bring stuff full circle, I guess.
But that's cool that you're able to find it, able to play it, and as you said, refurbish it and still use some aspects from it. I think that's it's very cool. It definitely it creates a unique, interesting aspect for it.
Yeah. I like to try different things in the studio. I'm not real straightforward with the way I do production and things like that.
And I'm a big fan of production. I'm not like huge, able to play music myself, but I'm always interested in like production and like how you take all these different elements and musicians and put it together and have it create a very good sound.
Yeah, that's I think that's what we're all striving for, at least musicians when we're in the studio. We're just hoping when we put everything together that at the end of the day it's something that at least we're happy with, and after that, if we're really lucky, it'll be palatable to whoever's listening.
Yeah, that's the main goal. I mean, you actually have to be happy with the music you put out, but also it has to, as you said, be palatable for everyone else who consumes it, at least in the area. And now with online, it can reach people in different countries as well.
Yeah, for sure.
But now, you're talking about your production and your music. So you have been working on a new album entitled Junk Drawer, which I believe is coming out pretty soon, actually.
Yeah, it's coming out on May 14th. I'm going to do there's a all ages venue here in Fort Wayne called the Muse On Main. So we're going to do a release show that night. Don't know exactly what everything will entail, but we're putting it together. So the album will come out that day. I think probably on Bandcamp and some of those things initially, and then also I'll do a physical release, probably CD. I'm getting ready to put some orders in for things. Other than that, it'll get on all the streaming services probably within a week of that, but I like to keep it on the small side of the stuff before I just put it on Spotify and iTunes and all that, because they're great for promoting things, but they're not the most lucrative.
Yeah, especially with well documented that they don't really pay people for stream and all that stuff. But that's the conversation.
So that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, we probably could talk at least for another hour or two.
The hand needs to go that way though. Yeah. It's all backwards. But yeah, so that's the plan right now. Putting a show together for it, getting all the final details together. So when I put the digital release on, it'll be good. So I'm down kind of the mastering at this point. I think everything else is done.
Will you release it on cassette?
I don't know. I thought about it. I know people do that again now. So we'll see. I'm definitely going to do a limited run of CDs, just for the night of the show, and then if for anybody who prefers that media, it'll be online right away as well. We'll see what happens outside of that. Maybe.
Well, so go back to cassette, and then I got a few things to talk about for the show because I'm really looking forward to it. It's kind of funny, like I don't know, like Sum 41 put their last album on cassette. The Pretty Reckless just put their new album on cassette.
Mhm.
I'm kind of surprised it's coming back since cassettes kind of have a limited run time anyway, because after a while it just gets burned out, the tape. And I don't know really too many people who have one and actually use it.
Yeah.
Like my first car had a cassette player. That's how old my car was.
Mhm.
But now I have a newer car. I have a CD player now. I don't even have a cassette player. So I'm surprised people are using them.
Yeah, I think only my first two cars had a cassette player, and I'm much older than you are. So that technology is it's funny. The good thing about them though is you can put one in your pocket, even without a case, and listen to it later. I mean, you can do that with obviously a digital download or streaming service too.
That's for sure. But I do want. That's true. But I do want to talk about the show because there's a rumor I'm going to be there too. I don't know who started that, but there's a rumor I'm going to be at that show.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll try and spread the rumor then.
And definitely, if you got CDs there, I would definitely pick one up. I've listened to No New Me. I really enjoy it. And what also cool about the show, I've not been to the Muse on Main, but my friends Hourglass and Rags and Riches have been there, and they say it's a pretty cool venue.
Yeah, it's a great space. The people that run it are they're awesome promoters of local music and local arts, and definitely we don't have a lot of venues like that, so I appreciate them.
Yeah, definitely any venue that promotes local music, always a fan because they don't get a lot of love, on like radio stations outside of like my area of radio stations like internet radio and all that stuff. But like main radio stations don't get a whole lot of love. And even some venues turn away local music. So any venue that supports local music, I'm a big fan of.
Yeah, absolutely.
But also, I heard you have a special guest lined up to open for you. Who's with you?
We've got a couple bands that night outside of my special band for the night. So my friend Brent from Old 303 is bringing his project out, his band, the Red Queen Project. So I'm excited that they're going to come play here in Fort Wayne for us. I've gotten to see them out in Bluffton before, but this will be the first time I've seen them here, and so I'm just excited to do a show together. And then the Kickbacks are also going to be playing, and so I've known them for a long time. Actually, some of the earliest shows that I did with the Heartache was with them. So lots of old friends.
And those are two really cool bands. I had the opportunity to interview Red Queen Project a few weeks ago. That's how we connected. They are just some hilarious dudes to be around. Very fun. And I got to meet the Kickbacks. They actually came to my area a few weeks ago as well. And they put on a killer show. They're really good.
They're a good stage show for sure. Yeah. For the night of the release, I am lucky enough to have good friends that are willing to learn an entire set of music just to play for a show. So Chris Collier, the drummer for the Kickbacks, is actually going to play drums for me that night. And then my friend Topher Beyer, who's in more bands that I can think of, is going to come and play bass for the night. He plays. He's in a band called the Paper Heart. Another band called El Camino Hot Tub. Familiar with those guys at all? And Last Plane Home is kind of a punk rock band that he's in. So he's a really good friend of mine, but he's going to come and play bass for the night. Another guy named Chris Ulrey is going to play guitar. He's the other guitarist in Last Plane Home. And I think for at least one song, Mr. Brent Garrett's going to come up and play some guitar too.
So it sounds like you got a supergroup going on there for your band.
Lucky for me, for at least for a night, I get to have kind of a local supergroup back, so which is kind of cool. I have no idea what to expect. We're going to start rehearsing, I think, at like the end of April, and so we'll have about 3 weeks where we can get together and just hash it out. But they're all professionals, so I'm sure they'll be ready to go.
You're with a great company.
Oh,
With all those musicians you've listed, I know them either of them or personally. That is a great group you got going on. I feel a little envious for you because like you got all these great musicians around you for one night.
I just got to be ready. I just got to know my parts and make sure I'm in line.
I think you got it. But if anyone in Indiana wants to check out this great album release party, it's going to be on May 14th, as he said, at the Muse on Main. Red Queen Project's going to be there. Kickbacks, his supergroup. It's going to be a loaded show and a lot of fun.
Definitely gonna be high energy. For
sure. And I want to focus a little bit on the music, on Junk Drawer. How was it writing and recording the album?
So I've been toying with doing a new solo album for quite a while, and because life is busy, I have not had time. The last 3 or 4 years, the last 5 years, I've been playing with the Heartache, and like every year it seems like we've added more shows. So up through this past year, we was like growing and growing, and I have been doing a lot of solo acoustic gigs on the side too. I think like the previous year, I think I did somewhere in the neighborhood of 85, 90 shows. And I work full time too, so like it's definitely a labor or whatever. But I'm going off on a tangent there.
You're fine, sure.
My time is always super like constrained, it seems like, and then all of a sudden it wasn't. So it was like the last year was like, all right, I'm home. I'm home a lot. What am I going to do? I was like, well, I said I was going to make a solo album. I keep saying I'm going to do it. So it was time. And since, fortunately, I'm a person who collects like ideas all the time. If I have an idea for a lyric, I'll jot it down in a notebook. I'll write it in the notes on my phone. If I'm driving somewhere or driving to work, I'll kick the voice memo on. I'll just sing something into the phone, just to get a scratch of an idea and go, okay, save that for later. And, then later on you go through and you're like, bad, no, oh, save that one. So it is what it is. But I've been doing that kind of thing for a really long time. So this album has stuff that I wrote in the past year for sure, but it also has stuff that I've written over the past probably 15 years.
That sounds pretty cool what you got going on, especially just like singing into a voice memo and like, oh, that sounds good, or oh, what was I thinking? I kind of do that with like when I record my show, when I have my radio show. I go, oh, that sounds good, and then I look at another thing like, what was I thinking talking like this? I definitely relate with that.
Yeah, because just having a way to, whatever way you do it, just having a way to store ideas is definitely good if you're doing something creative.
For sure, I really like how you put that. Yeah, definitely. When you're doing something creative, it's always even if the ideas don't stick, at least it keeps you thinking about what to come up with.
Exactly.
How'd you come up with the name Junk Drawer? I like it.
So I was trying to sit there and think about what would I call this album, because it's I don't know how much of it you got to hear but it is a mixed genre album. There's definitely some indie folk Americana stuff in there because that's a lot of what I do, but there's a little bit of hip hop in there, and there's a little bit of kind of funky stuff. There's some scorchy like fuzz guitar riff stuff. It's kind of all over the place, because I have a tendency, like if I write a song that I know will work really well with a band that I'm in, I'll set it aside and use it with them. And since I've been doing so much of that, all the other stuff, I kind of go, okay, this doesn't fit anything. Let me put it over here. This one doesn't fit, put it over here. And eventually I kind of just had a junk drawer of ideas that I needed to use for something. So that's kind of where the idea came to mind. I was like, oh, this is just this junk drawer, this collection of stuff. I was like, oh, that'd be a great idea for the album. And whatever it is, that's where it came from.
And I like how you came up with junk drawer, because I was gonna guess it sounded like there's a mixed genre, elements in there.
Mhm.
I've only listened to No New Me because that's what Brent sent me,
Okay.
and I definitely agree with like the Americana kind of like old school rock feel to it, indie rock kind of.
Mhm.
Even when I say it in those genres, it doesn't exactly fit with those genres as well. I really liked No New Me. I think I definitely really enjoyed it. And I'm looking forward to hearing like the hip hop, different stuff you're going to be putting on Junk Drawer.
Yeah, we'll see what everyone thinks. I never really know what to. I tried to send it to a handful of people that I trust their judgment of. Is this? It was like, let me send you something. Is this good? And so far, fortunately, hopefully they're not all just being good friends, or hopefully they are being good friends and being honest. We'll see. But everyone seems to like what I've shared so far. So hopefully we'll continue that trend.
Yeah, definitely. Like when people send me music, and I always listen to it. If everyone sends me new music, I always love listening to it. Love to see what people come up with, and I definitely really enjoyed No New Me. I'm actually gonna be featuring a teaser for it coming up very soon, so everyone gets a little taste of the new song. It is what Brent said. It's a 7-minute song, correct?
Yeah, I have a tendency. I guess I don't know when to stop. I would say that there are some normal length format songs on the album. There's several that are like 3 to 4 minutes long, but there's probably 3 of them on there that are between 5 and 7 minutes. I don't know. There are times where I'm just like I don't want to cut a verse. I don't want to cut a chorus, and I liked some of the guitar fills, and I was just like, all right, well, just leave it. It's fine. So yeah, so it ended up being 7 minutes long.
Yeah, but I liked it. Like it doesn't feel like you're listening to like a 7-minute song. It actually, flows very nicely. It keeps the person engaged from what from my perspective, what I listen to.
Appreciate that.
For sure. But yeah, make sure check out Junk Drawer. Will be make sure to check them out May 14th. Muse On Main. See Adam Baker live. He's gonna put on a killer show. Plus, he's got some CDs. I'm definitely gonna be buying one. So make sure to reserve me a copy, Adam.
Absolutely, we'll have something set aside for you.
Fantastic. Also, with the rumor that I might be there. So we'll see.
I'll keep my fingers crossed.
Hope everyone is enjoying my interview with Adam Baker. Now, here is the teaser for No New Me. It will be available on his solo album Junk Drawer, available on May 14th. Here's the teaser. Enjoy.
You know me, there ain't no new me to know now. Flipping through our photo albums just to sort it out.
Again, that was a teaser for No New Me off his upcoming album Junk Drawer. Now, back to the interview. But another fun question for you, because I know you've been coming up with a lot of different stuff and listening to some different music as well. So, what music have you been listening to this week, Adam?
This week, all right. So I listen to a pretty wide variety of stuff. I listen to really old stuff, current stuff. I try and keep my mind open. So genre, like I said, I genre hop a lot. That's probably part of the reason my writing is the way it is, I guess. This morning, what was I listening to this morning? This morning I listened to some Black Sabbath, and I also listened to the new release from Hiatus Coyote. So the 2 different kinds of bands. Otherwise, this week I got on a Dire Straits kick the one day. I was just listening to Mark Knopfler playing guitar. I don't know, he's just such a brilliant guitarist. And then also. I don't know if this is cool or not, but I've been enjoying the new stuff from Phoebe Bridgers. Just kind of folky pop musician, I guess. I don't know how you classify that.
I'm gonna check some of those out. Obviously I'm a big Black Sabbath fan. So what Black Sabbath were you listening to, Ozzy or Dio?
Today I was listening to Ozzy. I do like some of the stuff with Dio as well. He's a great singer, great front person. But the Ozzy ears are my favorite probably.
No, I mean I enjoyed both, but I feel like Dio. I think he's a stronger singer than Ozzy, but I don't think he fit Black Sabbath. Like he didn't.
Yeah, I would agree.
So,
he was a bit of a being in Sabbath like that. He's a bit of a rainbow in the dark, I guess.
Oh, man, I don't know how to top that. That was good. That was good.
Can't help it. Living in the pop culture references.
And when I put a teaser out for this interview, I'm gonna have to use that line.
Fair enough.
But this week I've been listening to Cypress Hill a lot. I got on a Cypress Hill kick this week. I'm not really sure why, but it helps me do schoolwork for some reason. I'm not really sure why.
Interesting.
Yeah, but also been listening to. I just saw them last night actually. Our Attic. They're out of Lansing, Michigan. They're indie rock, but also they got like some actually rock-based songs. I'm not sure if they have any music out yet, but they were really cool to check out.
Okay, if they have a release or something like that,
I'm
gonna check it out.
I'll send it to you. Also, I've been listening to 19 Till Dawn, also out of Michigan. They're like a straight hard rock band. They rock. They really do. I just picked up their new album, or their last album. They're working on a new album, and they're really good. Also,
send me some links to what you're listening to. I'll check it out. I'm always looking for stuff to listen to when I'm doing things.
Oh yeah, I definitely will. After this interview, I definitely will. I always love sharing new music, especially people I'm friends with. So I will definitely send that over. But Adam, thank you so much for hanging out. Yeah, thank you so much for hanging out with me here on Super Cool Radio. Great time talking with somebody, especially I always love promoting bands from Indiana, where I'm from, where you're from. So great state, my home state I call home. So thank you so much for hanging out with me. Make sure check out Junk Drawer when it's released on May 14th. See him live if you're in the area, or if not, I might be there. It's going to be a great time. We got Kickbacks, Red Queen Project, his super group. It is going to be a fun time.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have a big old party on stage.
For sure, it's gonna be a nice celebration. And I do got one more thing before I let you go. What else do you have in store for us for 2021, Adam?
All right, for 2021, let's see. I am getting ready to start doing rehearsals again with the Heartache, so we can do some regular band shows hopefully later this summer. I am working on growing my project studio here, Heartache Productions. I've been tracking probably on average an artist a month. I don't know, working on music for other people, which is something I like. As much as I love playing and songwriting, I also really like doing production and engineering and getting a chance to work with other people. So that's become another kind of piece of the puzzle for me. And other than that, working a little bit on music with my ukulele project, which is my girlfriend and I play together. We've been releasing a couple songs each year, something like that. Other than that, I just want to get outside when it gets nice out. So whether that's messing around in my yard or out playing shows on outdoor stages, whatever that is cool with me. Oh, also, the other thing I have starting, I just thought of, on May 21st, there's a Fort Wayne brewery. It's called Trouble Brewing. I think they are all ages at this point, at least outside. But a year ago, we had to put the Songwriting Showcase that I host on hold. But as of May 21st of this year, it is back. So every month, the third Friday of the month, it's from 8 to 10 or 8:30 to 10:30 in the summer. I usually find 3 other songwriters to bring in, and everybody plays about 30 minutes, something like that. I'll play a few songs at the beginning and kick it off, and then I introduce everyone, and we'll just kind of have it's just a songwriter performances all night.
That actually sounds very cool. I've there's been a few I went to here in my area, and it's always pretty fun just to see what people come up with and have. For especially 30 minutes, I think that's a nice time to showcase some nice skills.
Yeah, we've got. I've been lucky that at least up until we took the break from it, I was doing it for 3.5 years, I think, 4 years. The last couple, specifically in Trouble. Before that, it bounced around, but and I've just found a ton of local songwriters that are just really talented. We've lucked out, and just there's a pretty huge talent pool here in town.
Yeah, it's always nice showcase of the local musicians too. Sometimes I've discovered a lot of local musicians going to like shows and showcases like that.
Mm-hmm.
So very cool. Sounds like a lot of cool things in the works. I am definitely looking forward to hearing the whole album Junk Drawer in May and seeing you live as well. And I know it's going to be a great time. So make sure to check out Adam Baker. If you're in the area, see him, the Muse on Main, May 14th, Red Queen Project, Kickbacks. Of course, Adam Baker, who I'm pointing at right now, even though it's digitally, so it's hard to see. So, thank you so much. Also, check him out when it's released digitally. If you can't, come see him, stream him, check him out. So, great musician. So, thank you so much, Adam, for hanging out with me.
Thank you, Matt. I appreciate you taking your time.
So, for Adam Baker of Adam Baker, I'm Matthew Thomas with Super Cool Radio. Thank you for watching. Thank you so much for hanging out with me here on Super Cool Radio. Great time talking with somebody, especially I always love promoting bands from Indiana, where I'm from, where you're from. So great state, my home state I call home. So thank you so much for hanging out with me. Make sure check out Junk Drawer when it's released on May 14th. See him live if you're in the area, or if not, I might be there. It's going to be a great time. We got Kickbacks, Red Queen Project, his supergroup. It is going to be a fun time.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have a big old party on stage.
For sure. It's going to be a nice celebration. And I do got one more thing before I let you go. What else do you have in store for us for 2021, Adam?
All right, for 2021, let's see. I am getting ready to start doing rehearsals again with the Heartache, so we can do some regular band shows hopefully later this summer. I am working on growing my project studio here, Heartache Productions. I've been tracking probably on average an artist a month. I don't know, working on music for other people, which is something I like. As much as I love playing and songwriting, I also really like doing production and engineering and getting a chance to work with other people. So that's become another kind of piece of the puzzle for me. And other than that, working a little bit on music with my ukulele project, which is my girlfriend and I play together. We've been releasing a couple songs each year, something like that. Other than that, I just want to get outside when it gets nice out. So whether that's messing around in my yard or out playing shows on outdoor stages, whatever that is cool with me. Oh, also, the other thing I have starting, I just thought of, on May 21st, there's a Fort Wayne brewery. It's called Trouble Brewing. I think they are all ages at this point, at least outside. But a year ago, we had to put the Songwriting Showcase that I host on hold. But as of May 21st of this year, it is back. So every month, the third Friday of the month, it's from 8 to 10 or 8:30 to 10:30 in the summer. I usually find 3 other songwriters to bring in, and everybody plays about 30 minutes, something like that. I'll play a few songs at the beginning and kick it off, and then I introduce everyone, and we'll just kind of have it's just a songwriter performances all night.
That actually sounds very cool. There's been a few I went to here in my area, and it's always pretty fun just to see what people come up with and have. For especially 30 minutes, I think that's a nice time to showcase some nice skills.
Yeah, we've got. I've been lucky that at least up until we took the break from it, I was doing it for 3.5 years, I think, 4 years. The last couple, specifically in Trouble. Before that, it bounced around, but and I've just found a ton of local songwriters that are just really talented. We've lucked out, and just there's a pretty huge talent pool here in town.
Yeah, it's always nice showcase of the local musicians too. Sometimes I've discovered a lot of local musicians going to like shows and showcases like that.
Mm-hmm.
So very cool. Sounds like a lot of cool things in the works. I am definitely looking forward to hearing the whole album Junk Drawer in May and seeing you live as well. And I know it's going to be a great time. So make sure to check out Adam Baker. Again, if you're in the area, see him, the Muse on Main, May 14th, Red Queen Project, Kickbacks. Of course, Adam Baker, who I'm pointing at right now, even though it's digitally, so it's hard to see. So, thank you so much. Also, check him out when it's released digitally. If you can't, come see him, stream him, check him out. So, great musician. So, thank you so much, Adam, for hanging out with me.
Thank you, Matt. I appreciate you taking your time.
So, for Adam Baker of Adam Baker, I'm Matthew Thomas with Super Cool Radio. Thank you for watching.